Hi! It's the third week of sequel month, so today we're doing Where She Went by Gayle Forman. So this is the sequel to If I Stay, which, as you guys know, was my favorite book that I read last year. So, what did I think of the sequel? When I was doing my review on If I Stay, I wasn't so sure about Where She Went. I thought book didn't need a sequel. I didn't think it was going to be very good. So was I right? Was I wrong? Let's find out. Spoiler alert if you haven't read If I Stay or Where She Went. The main characters in this book are pretty much the same as they were in the last book, Adam and Mia. But Adam is actually the protagonist of this one, which is kind of interesting. He's kind of annoying though. He wasn't annoying in If I Stay, but he kind of is in Where She Went. He has like everything that he ever wanted except for Mia because they break up at the beginning before the book actually starts. But he's got a different girlfriend who seems nice and she's pretty and famous. And he got his like career that he wanted. He's like a famous musician. And he's unhappy. And like I get that fame is hard, but I feel like it mostly goes down to Mia. And it's been quite a while, like a couple, 3 or 4, maybe even 5 years. I'm not saying that you can't mourn lost love, but I'm saying maybe it's time to move on. And like I like them together as a couple. I 100% do. But I don't know. He's kind of letting it ruin his life, and that's kind of annoying. And it's kind of a choice, you know what I mean? Like, I think that happiness is a choice, and yeah, there are sometimes you have like a chemical imbalance or whatever, it's harder for you to be happy, but you can choose to wallow. You can choose to say, I'm upset about something, and I'm going to continue to be upset about it. I'm not going to try to be happy. I'm not going to try to move on. I'm going to just sit in my sadness, and that's what he does, and that's kind of annoying to me. But when he's back with Mia, any scenes that he's in with Mia, he's like the Adam I liked from the last one. Maybe not 100%, but definitely by the end, he's back to the Adam that I liked. And that is interesting. It's definitely because he's with Mia, but it's like kind of unfortunate he couldn't just be happy by himself. Because you should be able to, even if you're like in love, you should be able to be happy alone as well. Especially after 5 years. And then Mia is not really in this one as much. I mean, she's definitely there, but we're not in her head, and it's just not the same as it was with If I Stay. And so I think I liked her better in that one, just simply because her story was more interesting than Adam's stories in this one. And it was interesting being in her brain a little bit more. I mean, she's still a good character, but there's just not a lot to say about her when it comes to her character and in Where She Went. But yeah, I mean, that makes sense because like I said, it is Adam's story, not Mia, so it makes sense that it wouldn't revolve around her. And she still seems to be the same character, but happier. And it is interesting to see how she copes with her grief, how she copes with, you know, the death of her entire family, how she keeps them close even when they're dead. So then the story. It's good, but it's no If I Stay. Like that, like I said, was like my favorite book that I read last year. And so I'm kind of disappointed by how Where She Went turned out. I mean, it's fine, but it's just not as good. I kind of think that this wasn't necessary because the ending to If I Stay was perfect. It was all ambiguous. Like, definitely we know she woke up, but we don't know what happened next. And I kind of like that because the story was about if she stays. It's not about where she went afterwards. And so I liked that. I didn't think I needed to know where she went afterwards. The titles are very telling. But yeah, I just didn't think this book was necessary. I think that there are two reasons, potential reasons why Gayle Forman even wrote it. One, more money. The book did really well. Maybe she just wanted more money, but I'd like to think it was actually the second option, which is people kept asking what happened to them afterwards when they met her and when they like wrote her letters or whatever, and so she decided to tell us, which is nice of her, but I don't want to know. I had my own ideas and I wanted to keep it that way. I did not want Gayle Forman to tell me, even though they're her characters, but whatever. So the writing style is beautiful. Of course, Gayle Forman really has a way with words. She's a good writer. She's good at putting words into a sentence and making it sound pretty. And she makes, you know, good characters and everything. And her writing is good. She's a good writer. And I really do like the way that she writes about music. So I would say the writing in this book is great. 2 thumbs up. So all in all, I give it 3 stars, which is kind of bad in comparison to the 5-star rating I gave If I Stay. I think that's for only 5-star rating I've given any book that I've reviewed on this channel. And so when you look at the two of them together, it's kind of like, it's a bad review, I suppose. But it's not a bad book. It's just not a great sequel. And mostly just because it's not necessary and I don't like Adam. I feel bad saying this because I love If I Stay, but I don't know. It just isn't as good. And I was happier just leaving it as If I Stay, and I'll probably try to ignore Where She Went, when I think about it afterwards and I think about the characters, I'll be like, yeah, that was a fan fiction somebody else wrote, not what Gayle Forman actually thinks and not what I think. I preferred that little ambiguous ending. But I do think if you wanted to know what happened to Adam and Mia, or you like a happy ending and you don't like ambiguous endings as much, then definitely this is your book, because it is well written. And the characters are fine. Adam's a little bit annoying, but he's still a good three-dimensional character, and he definitely has some good backstory in there. He's not like an awful character. I'm being a little bit pessimistic towards this book. It's not a bad book, but I didn't like it in comparison to If I Stay, which I have to compare them together because it is a sequel. So if you like a happy ending, if you wanted to know what happened to Mia and Adam, read this book. I'm sure you'll love it. Me, I didn't hate it. I didn't like it that much either. It was eh. I mean, I liked it fine. I don't know. I gave it 3 stars. Take with that what you will. So next week is the last week in sequel month. Tears. And I will be finishing it off the way I started with the Legend series by Marie Lu, and I will be reviewing the last book in the series, Champion. So hope you guys are excited for that. I know I am. It's like a great series, definitely one of my favorite series I've read recently, and one of my new favorite authors, Marie Lu. That'll be fun. And as sad as I am to see sequel month go, it'll be nice to read some new books and get out of some of those old worlds and into some new ones. So I will see you guys next week for Champion by Marie Lu. Bye. Hi. Alright, so today is the 2nd week in sequels month, so very excited to review The Magician King by Lev Grossman.